You had mentioned earlier about helping her move out of Rockingham to
Yeah.
Bundy. What was the significance of that? Or would you remember that being like a time in her life where she felt free, was ready to move on, maybe had a little extra bounce in her step at that time? Or what was your recollection of helping her move out of Rockingham?
I don't know. I was hanging out with my friend Bobby at UCLA, and she and I we'd go and we'd hang out, in Westwood, and I get a call from my mom. It was either in the morning or it was the night before, and she goes, Tanya, I need you to help Nick move out of Rockingham, and I'm like, oh crap, really? I'm just a
Right.
college kid
Right.
who wants to
Yeah. Who
go
wants to move, right?
Who
Moving's
wants to
hard
move?
work.
like
Yeah,
hang
it
out with
is.
my girlfriend. Like, really, need to deal with this divorce crap and moving. But again, like I'm a kid, right? I said to my mom, and she goes, Tanya, I can't do it. I remember this conversation. I was sitting on the edge of my friend's couch, and she said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I said, okay. So I said to my friend Bobby, I said, honey, it's like I gotta. Bobby is a girlfriend, not a male, but she was my best friend and still kind of is a dear friend. And I said, Bobby, I gotta go freaking help my sister move out of this house tomorrow. Like I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. I'm like, oh, really? I just wanted to have a fun weekend in LA, right?
Yeah.
And I go and I get to I get to Rockingham. OJ's not there. I open up the door and I said, Nick, and she goes, yeah, I'm upstairs. I'm in my bedroom. And I said, okay. Everybody thinks his house was a mansion. It's not a mansion. It was just a house, right, Kato? It's
Yeah.
not a mansion. It was just a house. And she goes, I'm upstairs. And I said, okay. And she goes, lock the door. And I'm like, okay. So keep in mind, Nick never said anything to me up until this point. I didn't know anything. The only OJ I knew was like, hey, we're going to go to Aspen. We're going to go to Vail. We're going to go to Hawaii. Like, I never saw anything controlling. To me, it was Uncle OJ.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Maybe
then things
what was
happen.
happening and
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I got into the room and she goes, lock the door and get daddy on the phone. And I'm like, okay. In my head, in my heart, in mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is a divorce that's gone bad. I mean, divorces aren't pleasant, right? So I'm just thinking, and I'm what, 20, right? And she goes, get daddy on the phone. And I said, okay. So where their bed was, I'm facing the bed and the phone was on OJ's side of the bed. So I got on the phone and I knelt down and I said, Daddy, I don't know what's going on, but Nick said, for me to keep you on the phone. And she said, keep him on the phone. He has guns in the closet. And I'm like, I had no idea of this history. Everything that I'm sharing with you is in hindsight. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? So I kept daddy on the line and I guess I don't remember the next step, but we ended up going to Sydney's room and my back was facing the door and Nicole, her face was facing the door and we were emptying out her chest and I just saw everything in hindsight. I just saw a look in her that was fear because now 30 years later, right? Or years later, not even 30 years later, but years later, right? Like I learned about her abuse and I'm like, oh my God, now I know why. And she looked up and it was almost like she was like pale. And I turned around, like I said, oh, hey, OJ, what's going on? Like nothing, like, hey, OJ, what's going on? And she said, don't talk to him. And I went, okay, like, what the hell's going on?
Sure.
Then we went downstairs and he had like there was all the crystal and vases and Lalique and all this stuff, like on their dining table. And I said, Nick, what is all this stuff? And she goes, oh, he just wants me to divide everything. I go, can't you just do one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you? And she's like, yeah, no, because he makes everything so difficult.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm just thinking it's a divorce that's gone bad.
Well, and then you're also a
However,
witness to, you think it's normal because you're just there, you're not really knowing what's going on behind the scenes. It's almost become normal for Nicole because she's used to that version of OJ,
used
which
to
is
it.
why they're breaking up.
Right.
And then think of the tension because OJ's probably realizing she's actually leaving the house now, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to make that very difficult for her. And I can imagine the tension that maybe you didn't pick up on right away, but wow.
Didn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
It was 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1992. We were at Spago's for New Year's.
Yeah.
And I remember we were sitting at the table, at the dinner table, and she goes, come to the bathroom with me. And I'm like, okay, like, all right. I guess that's what women do. We go to the bathroom together. And she said, New Year's Eve, 1992, she goes, I'm going to ask OJ for a divorce tonight.
Wow.
And the first thing, not knowing that they were having problems or anything, just, I don't even know if it was like, it was 1992. So I don't know where she was or what. Like, I don't
92
remember
becoming 93 or 91
92 becoming 93.
Okay.
And I remember we went up to, she goes, I'm asking OJ for a divorce tonight. And I said, first thing, I said, Nick, do you love your kids? First thing out of my mouth. And she goes, more than I love my own life. And I go, then you're doing the right thing. I said, because kids feel, they may not get it, they may not understand, but kids will know when mommy and daddy aren't happy. And then she said this, she goes, don't tell Dita. And I'm like, what? I'm 22 years old. I can't hold on
That's
to
big
this.
information for you to hold on to, right? So,
That was a lot.
but
That
she
was a
also
lot.
needed to release it. She needed to tell somebody, right? And she was afraid of the reaction of her other sister. That's why she felt comfortable telling you.
Perhaps, yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, Mom, I can't hold on to this. And Nick got mad at me. She was like, why did you tell Dita? I told you not to tell Dita. And I'm like, well, I couldn't hold on to this
Right.
myself. Like, I'm a college kid.
Right.
Like, this is a lot.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I
it
think
was a
also
lot.
I think also a lot of times they say they're going to divorce, but their relationship sometimes was a breakup, got back together, a breakup,
Right.
got back together.
Breakup,
Right? Is this
back
really going to
together,
happen?
yeah.
And so maybe I'm not putting words in your mouth. Maybe you're thinking like maybe it's temporary. Maybe it's New Year's Eve. Maybe who knows what's
Who
real or not.
knows?
But she moved out.
She moved
Yeah.